Alright, number 6. We got Parasite Eve. I know a lot of people like this game, and I've never really figured out why, to be honest. It's short, boring, monotonous. There's really not much that this game has going for it. I guess it kind of has a unique concept, sort of survival horror RPG, but it's just not really implemented very well. There's basically no NPCs in the game to speak of. The story is, I guess, while interesting in concept, is pretty brief. There isn't a whole lot to it. It's mostly just dungeon crawling through repetitive, boring areas. And while the combat is alright, I think that its contemporary Vagrant story is much better. There's not a whole lot I can say about this game because it's just so ridiculously short. There's just not a whole lot to it. It seems ridiculous too. You would think in a game that when you're talking about an RPG that's less than 10 hours, how they managed to make that so monotonous and boring is beyond me, but they freaking nailed it. Because there's nothing really interesting to do in this game. You just kind of go through, you shoot some mutant rats, and then you go to the next area, and then you shoot mutant crocodiles or whatever. It's not interesting. I really wish this game would have been better because it has a cool concept. They kind of dropped the ball. The presentation in this game is kind of hit and miss because while the CG in the game is actually very good, the music is pretty bad. Most of it is just kind of generic, forgettable techno tracks. And it seems like often there'll be this conspicuous lack of music in certain sections for no apparent reason. The first time I encountered it, I thought maybe there was something wrong with my game, but I saw one of my friends playing it once and it was the same way. I can't really explain this. It's like sometimes there just won't be any music, and I realized that in a horror-themed game this might make sense, because silence can sometimes, heighten tension, but it doesn't really work that way in this game. All you really think when you notice it is just, why is there no music? It just seems really out of place. It might seem like a minor thing, but it really annoyed me. I think this game is really just a prime example of missed potential. There were some neat ideas behind the whole thing, but they are never realized to the degree that they should have been. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.